Should I start looking out the window? Oh, hello. Hello, I am Maeve Mueller. I'm a ceramic artist and jewelry designer based in Cambridge. I sell my work at 13 Forest Gallery. Mark, the owner of 13 Forest, asked me to answer a couple questions, and I'm gonna do my darndest. The first one is, why do I make art? And I ask myself that question all the time. But I think the best answer I can give you all today is that art is a really convenient and professional label for something that I have always had a natural inclination to do, which is to make things with my hands. I have done it ever since I was a little child, really. It was my way of navigating problems. It was my way of escaping into imaginary world. It was my way of having autonomy and independence. It wasn't until later on in my life, as I got older, that I started to put this into the context of making art. I think I felt more like an inventor in the beginning, but then I got a lot of positive reinforcement from adults in my life, from my parents who were very supportive, to amazing art teachers that I had in grade school and high school, and also friends that had their own type of creativity that they were exploring and acting out in their lives. That kind of all led me into the direction of, okay, I can use this inventor's mind and I can use this creative problem solving and actually make a career out of it. So that more or less is my answer to that question. By now, I think you're all probably wondering, why is Maeve making her video in this ugly, ugly corner filled with boxes and junk? And that actually brings me to the second question that Mark asked me to answer. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected my studio practice? Oh my God, has it ever affected my studio practice? You're looking at my studio right now. It is packed into boxes, and it has been for the last 3 or so months. I was actually right about to move into a new studio space when this whole thing hit, like mid-March, early March, mid-March. I couldn't move into the new space, it was shut down, and my old space is also shut down. You really need a dedicated space for this medium. It can be very messy, it can get dusty, and the dust can get into your lungs. At best, you have a kiln to fire your work in, which would be really great right now. You at the very least need an area that you can put a tarp down and easily clean up after yourself. Unfortunately, I just don't have any of those things. I don't have the luxury of continuing to work even in little ways. I have friends that are like making at their kitchen tables. I have friends that are making in their garages or their home offices, which is awesome, and all the power to them. I just didn't really have that option. In the meantime, what have I been doing over these last 3 months? Well, I've engaged in more of like a critical inner dialogue about my artwork than maybe I ever have before, or maybe at least since being out of art school. I've been living with these objects that I've made, and I've been looking at them, and I've decided to start photographing them all over again. I was looking at these pictures and I was looking at the objects and I was thinking, there's something here that's not being communicated that I really want to communicate through my art. I really want to give an impression of the soul and the life that I try to imbue into my art. And so I've been taking photographs just on my phone at home with like a DIY light setup. And I've been using bright colored backgrounds and I've been using props that I never thought to use before. It's really made me realize that art making isn't strictly paintbrush to canvas. It isn't strictly hands in wet clay. It's just as much the time you spend out of the studio delving into what is this practice all about? Why am I doing these things? How do I want these objects that I make to exist in the world? Photographing has been a way of me working through that. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys some of those images right now. And I just want to thank you for listening to my answers. Thank you, Mark, for asking the questions. And stay safe, everyone.